as far as being a Pats fan, it felt like we were in the interminable slog of this past preseason, the entire year at large, and then, of course, one of the most brutal seasons in memory since the era of McPherson Rust et al. But the second Mike Vrabel got hired, I feel like we have gone from trudging up the hill at an alpine ski getaway to like on one of those mountain coasters, like at a place in like Vermont or the Berkshires where it's just blazing fast. Because I think that speaks to the positivity that's back in the air in Pats Nation.
We've absolutely turned a corner towards hopefulness. We had the poll earlier in the week here on the show where 73% of Patriots fans absolutely believe Mike Vrabel's team can and will compete for a postseason berth as soon as next year. And we're going to get into the games of the weekend. We got Eagles Commanders, which I think there's a lot of Patriots fans watching for reasons of, maybe that can be us someday soon. You got Chiefs, Bills, which I think a lot of Patriots fans are watching to root against. One guy, one team, and one opportunity. But I want to start with something you and I, Fitzy, used to do on the old Fitzy and Hart programs on the weekends and nights and fill-ins. It's a simple question. Who won the week in Boston sports? And my answer is a simple answer, and it ties into the audio we heard from Jeff Howe and Andrew Callahan coming in, and it ties into some audio we're going to play from a guy who is home again for the third time. To me, the winner of the week was Patriots' second-year quarterback. We've turned the page. Second-year quarterback, Drake May, because I am firmly in the camp of what Jeff Howe is alluding to, what Tom Curran has alluded to, what many have alluded to, Brian Hoyer has alluded to. They may have gotten the perfect guy for Drake May. And I know there were the Rich Keefes of the world that wanted Ben Johnson. And that might have worked, could have worked, whatever. You didn't. And as soon as you got Mike Vrabel, the next best thing you could get for Drake May's development was Josh McDaniels, the guy who's been trying to learn, streamline, work on his offense for the last year plus since getting canned by the Raiders, which is something that happens to a lot of people in recent years.
They were not a fan of his bona fides?
No, but they also didn't like Antonio Pierce's bona fides in the long run, and now they got another guy. We'll see. Maybe they went a little older. That'll work out. We'll get into that later. But Josh McDaniels, I think, understood at the age of 48 that if he wants to continue to build his coaching career, resume, and legacy, he's going to have to change what he does. And that's where I want to start. So Drake May wins the week because Josh McDaniels is here. And not only is he here, Stiz, but Josh McDaniels has spoken. He did those videos. I know some people call them hostage videos. I don't think we need to go down that road.
Well, AVPs last year definitely sort of seemed like get in front of our nation's flag and say what we want you to say.
So Patriots have a way of doing things where when they bring in a player or a new coach, they have the in-house media crew, Kraft Sports Productions, sit down with this person and do a video. They're usually short. And, oh, yeah, by the way, they're usually pretty positive and sort of PR-based because they are by the team. But I think if you listen carefully to what Josh McDaniels said on Patriots.com yesterday, I think you'll be really excited for the Patriots and for Drake May.
Offense only takes the field for one reason, and that's to try to put points on the board. So our number one goal will be to take care of it, and the second part of that is going to be to score as much as we can. And in this, fraternity in the National Football League that we're so fortunate to be a part of, there's nothing like this. You get up, there's an energy, there's a purpose to your day. Nice job. There's just an evolution to our game. That
Stop right there, please, Stiz. Did he say evolution?
Did we hear what we've been wanting to hear, that people that believe this is just a nostalgia farming choice of the past say?
They're just going to run that big playbook that Brady ran forever, and it succeeded with Brady, but then he took it other places, and Sam Bradford couldn't make it work. No. I believe he said evolution. Evolution at the home of the revolution down in Foxborough with Josh McDaniels. Yeah, see? Josh McDaniels returning home, and that right there should be the word that you love about Josh McDaniels' return and why it's a great week for Drake May. Keep on rolling, Stiz.
Just an evolution to our game that I think is important, that you need to respect. This year has given me an opportunity to really consider all aspects of what this job entails. I'm excited about, what we're going to build here and the evolution of our offensive scheme, our offensive attitude, the way we do things, how we practice, and ultimately the way we go about playing. This place has such a special attraction to me. This area is home to me. Super excited that I have an opportunity to try to impact this place. I picked Mike up from the airport when he came here. Always been an extremely hard worker, smart a player as we've had here, as I've been around as a coach. I trust his vision. I really understand what he's going to look for from me and be a part of his staff and what he's going to build here and what he's going to put together and how he's going to lead us.
Oh, my. If you're a Patriots fan, if you're a Drake May fan, if you're a Patriots offense fan that you've seen for a few years now, quite honestly, disappointing, not entertaining.
Yep.
Not productive, dismal. There's a lot of those. Inefficient.
Yep.
There's a lot of those. There weren't a lot of bona fides or bona fides from the Patriots offense in recent years.
No, just boneheads.
Now you have Josh McDaniels, who we know has had success talking about evolution and changing, and even hearkening back to his roots as an intern who was picking up player Mike Vrabel on a free agent visit because he was part of that 2001 free agency class. So very simply, if you listened to that yesterday from Josh McDaniels, I don't know how as a Patriots fan you can't be excited about what could happen with a stable coach, a competent coach, with an evolution coming to his scheme and to his system and to the way he's going to go about his business. And oh, by the way, one of the more talented young quarterbacks in football with the arm strength, the athletic ability, and most importantly, people forget this, when Dan Orlovsky was going off praising Drake May, he talked about, wow, he goes through his reads and the things he sees. He doesn't look like a rookie. Some of the things they say about Jaden Daniels, they've said about Drake May. So, Fitzy, Drake May won the week thanks to the arrival of an evolved Josh McDaniels.
I got 2 evolutions out of that video and 1 full 6 to midnight. Like, we are right back to broadcasting from WLFG, baby.
Let's go.
If you're not excited about the turn the Patriots have taken, the stability brought about to the franchise, and the fact that they have a true north and a direction again after feeling like they were wandering the desert of post-dynastic football, then I can't help you out, honestly. I think all the decisions that they've made are very difficult to argue and quibble with at this point, Andy. And look at how good Drake May looks without even having – now, granted, he did have a former NFL quarterback who – is a bit of a QB whisperer as we came to know an AVP, and I thought he did an excellent job. God bless wherever you head to next, pal. But and there's a new quarterbacks coach apparently coming in as well, as T.C. McCartney is bidding farewell to one Patriot place, and the traffic, really wasn't much traffic on Route 1 last year. But as far as winning the week, absolutely, Drake May gets a massive dub on the week. For me, at large, and I had a chance to discuss this earlier on a quick Six Rings and Football Things podcast, I tried to bring in a positive Josh McDaniels outlook from Megan Ottolini. And Mego, she wrote about it for weei.com about how McDaniels was the safe and smart choice, the best choice for the Patriots to make. And then, of course, I had Scheim time in because Scheim did not like the McDaniels selection as offensive coordinator, wanted somebody new, wanted somebody more dynamic and progressive, wanted somebody out of the system. To me, the big win of the week, therefore, goes to with Vrabel settling in for week number 2. Josh McDaniels back in the house. We have a defensive coordinator who chooses violence first and is well-regarded and familiar with his coach. Sean McVay is so upset about losing Stretch, a.k.a. the striker. Now we've got a new Ernie Adams from Mike Vrabel. We've got a running backs coach. All these pieces are now starting to come in place. So, yes, the winner of the week is you, Patriots fans, because all of the angst, all the anxiety, all the depression, all the disappointment, all the feeling like you didn't have proper Patriots and football personnel in the room, that you didn't have adults running the franchise, that you had no direction, that it was just unmitigated chaos with a bunch of people learning on the fly and trying to figure out what in the holy flip they were doing. Those times are gone. It is not an immediate hearkening back to the dynasty, and this isn't member berries season. However, you should take comfort in people that have done this before, doing it here again with a cause and a purpose, optimism, and excellence behind them. I think Mike Vrabel is going to be great. I think Josh McDaniels actually does have a lot to prove. And the fact that you don't have to worry about Drake May looking to have a third or fourth offensive coordinator within 3, 4, 5, 6 years in the NFL or as a football player, Andy, that's what's going to allow him to get on a track similar to Jaden Daniels, though he is his own player. I can understand the natural comps to Josh Allen and others, but Pats fans at large, you guys should be confident that your football team is going to do business the right way and do it well again. So congratulations to all of us. It feels good to be a Pats fan. Hooray, Patriots!
And the thing that I like about the pairing that I don't know that we've really delved into that much is, so you go from Bill Belichick, who was set in his ways. Can we say he was set in his ways for the most part?
Some would say I was somewhere between stubborn and obstinate, so stobstinate.
Okay, stobstinate. He was set in his ways, and then you transition to Gerard Mayo and his staff that was not set in its ways because they didn't really have ways. They were using ways to figure out how to get to the stadium, the app, and we're kind of making it up on the fly and doing all those things.
Just like when you get lost in your GPS, like
recalculating.
Yeah, recalculating is probably the
recalculating.
Like the arrow is just point. Like you can't drive into the side of a building. Nope. It's like Michael Scott in The Office driving into a lake.
There is a portion of the Pike going east when I'm headed toward 93. If I go home that way, where my GPS in my phone flips out, and she just keeps yelling, "Turn left now! Turn left now! Turn left now!" And I'm like, "No, I'm not going to do that because there is a median there and oncoming traffic, and you'll die as a phone and a digital voice, and I'll die as a real human being. So I'm going to ignore you."
To that, I will also add, and I bet people that have been downtown can relate. Downtown Boston, in addition to being packed, dense, and difficult to drive around as is, if you ever have your GPS on and you're coming out of that giant garage under the Prudential Center, right near our fabulous WEI Ford Clubhouse Studios at Fenway Park, the thing just actually starts moving to the side like it's a Pac-Man ghost. And you're like, wait, no, I'm not over there. I'm right here. Can't you clearly see where we are?
As they say in Maine, can't get there from here to my GPS. So we have set in his ways, Bill Belichick, didn't have a way to do business, Gerard Mayo. Now what we have is two guys who at one point may have been set in their ways because their ways worked for them in different ways. There's a lot of ways in this first segment. There was Josh McDaniels, the coordinator, the offensive mind that worked in a variety of opportunities, let's just say, with the Patriots. And there was Mike Vrabel, who with the Titans was a good coach. He was coach of the year. He went to the playoffs. He beat Bill Belichick. He went to an AFC title game. They both did the exact same thing last year. Nothing. They both basically were consultants and researched the opportunities to modernize their techniques as coaches, to modernize whatever schemes they want to run, to put together to-do lists on next time how I'm going to be a better coach as a head coach, Mike Vrabel, as a coordinator, Josh McDaniels. And I think that is truly an opportunity for these Patriots. So you can take the Shimes and all the, what is it again, nostalgia farmers out there that don't like this, and okay, I'll put you in one group. But I think there's a bigger group that says, wait, we have competent guys who have experience, who have been fired, who have spent a year trying to hone their skills, hone their craft, and now they're going to put that to good use together, modernize it together for our football team. That seems appealing. That seems like that could work. That seems like it has a more obvious hit rate, success rate than what happened a year ago at this time.
So if the new, because, we hear these terms thrown around all the time, Andy, especially in football, like high ceiling, low ceiling, high floor, low floor. So we started with Vrabel coming back in as a high floor move. It was comforting, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Here's someone who's coached before.
2 wins, I said, immediately. Mike Vrabel gives you 2 wins. You would have won 6 last year.
At minimum, I would probably have taken the over on 6.5 as well.
Okay.
Foolishly enough, I took the over on 4.5, which is probably why I owe
not.
somebody at the station a beer. No, you did not.
I am a winner.
Mr. 0 wins is on the table. 1 and 16 is on the table. 2 and 15. You kept sliding the ruler as well. I really wish that you saw 3 and 14, but I do not want to get into the thanks for losing us Abdul Carter wormhole once again. So as far as the Vrabel hiring began, you started with a higher floor. And now to me, without even seeing the first offer in free agency, without getting a chance to wonder what Wolfpack 2.0 is doing as far as figuring out who they would like to trade for or target in free agency or the draft, without anything else being done besides the names of a lot of people that Mike Vrabel worked with on the Tennessee Titans coming to be part of his new coaching staff in Foxborough, the ceiling is slowly raising for me now. I'm not talking full Wonka Vader just blowing out the top of the Wonka chocolate factory and us getting a view of paradise, but it's getting higher, and I'm feeling really good about that. And something occurred to me this morning. You remember a couple of years ago when Devin McCourty decided to stick around and not move on after Brady and moved on, and the team sort of seemed to fall apart. And he wrote this piece. It was a really thoughtful piece in the Players Tribune called Why I'm Sticking Around for the New England. He wanted to be a part of the rebuild and the turnaround and help set the foundation the way they used to do business with some new people. That foundation never really they started trying to dig the foundation. They never really even poured the concrete, let alone built the house, Andy. Whereas now it feels like this truly is the turnaround and the rebuild. This is the New England. This is like the official, true post-Belichick Patriots. I think was it Ted Johnson yesterday, or maybe you guys workshopped this idea. I really thought this was sharp. People forget Cam Newton. They think of Mac Jones as the first real quarterback post-Brady, correct?
Yep.
Gerard Mayo will be almost forgotten in a similar way, like he's the Cam Newton, the bridge coach, if you will, between Belichick and Vrabel, and hopefully history continues to view it as such.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's been a bunch of resets in recent years with Bill Belichick in charge of those, different quarterbacks, now different coaches post-Belichick, and that's why we're getting a little bit of pushback in the Twitch chat and on the text line, but we are starting optimistic. We have winners of the week. It's Drake May. It's Patriot Nation, because Mike Vrabel is now a competent head coach of the New England Patriots, and he has the chosen man by whether it's Kraft or Vrabel, Josh McDaniels, who might just be the perfect guy to lead Drake May in his development